हेलो गाइस, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल, वेलकम मेरे चैनल पर। और मैं हूं विशांत सिंह और टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू वॉच टू कंट्रीज कंपैरिजन वीडियो ऑन स्ट्रीट फूड। ठीक है, बहुत लोगों को स्ट्रीट फूड बहुत पसंद होता है। कोई ज़्यादा सफिस्टिकेट बनने की कोशिश करता है, बट स्टिल जब वो स्ट्रीट में घूमता है लोकल एरिया में, तो वो स्ट्रीट में जो फूड आइटम्स होते हैं ना, तो स्टाफ करने लगता है। देखो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं दे दूं आपको, भेल पूरी का ले लेते हैं। ठीक है, भेल पूरी को आप जब देखते हो, पानी पूरी को आप जब देखते हो, मुंह में साव आता है, पानी सी आ जाती है कि नहीं, सलाइवा आने लग जाता है, वो चीज़। फिर उसके बाद हमारे जैसे महाराष्ट्र में वड़ा पाव होता है, जो वड़ा पाव देख लिया, या मिसल पाव हो गया। फिर ऐसे टाइम में ना जब मैं वीडियो करता हूँ तो मेरे को याद ही नहीं आता क्या होता है। मतलब बहुत सी चीज़ें होती हैं स्ट्रीट में मिलती है और बहुत मज़ा आता है खाने में। ठीक है, तो हम आज वही चीज़ को यहाँ देखने वाले हैं। एंड अगेन हम देखने जाएंगे पहले पाकिस्तान का स्ट्रीट फूड कैसा है, एंड फिर उसके बाद हम देखेंगे नेपाल का स्ट्रीट फूड कैसा है, किस तरीके से है। तो पूरा वीडियो देखो, इट्स अबाउट स्ट्रीट फूड लवर्स। ठीक है, तो आप लोग देखो, बताओ आपका फेवरेट क्या है वीडियो पे। ठीक है, हम चलेंगे पहले पाकिस्तान पर। चलें पाकिस्तान पे।
In this video, you're gonna witness Pakistani street food carnivore style.
4 kilograms, over 8 pounds of meat. We have to eat the whole thing.
You have to eat most of it.
I have to eat most of it.
The sheer amount of meat that people eat here is off the
Tandoori.
charts.
I'm like a samurai, but with delicious food on my sword.
But first, let's back up. This is the city of Lahore in the Punjab province. If Punjab sounds familiar, it may be because India also has their own Punjab state right across the border. Though these two countries have a lot in common, today I'm on a mission to see what sets them apart when it comes to street food.
For the first time ever, I'm starting a
पूरा
country
non-veg ही भरा पड़ा है
a
वहाँ।
brand new place.
नॉन-वेज।
No matter which street you go, you'll find tons of amazing street food.
This is Pakistan after dark, and it all starts here.
It has finally happened. After years of planning, I'm in Pakistan, baby. I'm here right now with my man Javel. We're at a restaurant with about 7 tawas, these huge cooking platforms that are slightly recessed. It's a perfect place to kind of shallow fry food. Here, they're making chicken, but not just any chicken. This is a super spicy chicken.
Tonight, I'm going for their
See
best
there.
seller, the fiery, mouth-melting tawa chicken. Before hitting this oversized flat top, the chicken's already been par-cooked. Next, they add their own
Oh my
homemade
God.
masala containing white pepper, black
Tandoori
pepper,
masala hoga
ginger,
पूरा।
saffron, and yogurt. Then add supreme quality cooking oil. What makes this dish special isn't the supreme cooking oil or the masala. It's this, a hecklo of
श्रावण चल रहा है,
and
लेकिन
chilies. Next, add lemon and cook until all the flavors blend together, becoming one glistening, fiery
Listen.
red hue.
नींबू, आलू, लहसुन, क्या था वो? नींबू है।
Finally, when it's ready to serve, the chicken is wrapped in a chapati and sent out into the world. This dish started with this restaurant, Arif
Mirchi
Tawa,
dekho.
and this restaurant started over 40 years ago.
We have the bread and we dig in straight.
Do you actually eat the chilies?
Yes, of course.
Okay, is that respectable?
All right, I'll give you that.
She'll give me that. All right. Oh. Uh-oh.
The thing about this is you can't stop eating it,
Right.
even if you're burning.
Absolutely. A flavor explosion. And then, like the aftershock. You taste the lightning and then you wait for the thunder.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty good. When you bite into the chicken, first you taste, oh, what is it?
Like a little bit of a charring kind
Yeah.
of a thing. It comes from the tawa that they
Oh,
cook
really?
on.
In China, what they would call wok hei. Like tasting the wok. It's like tasting the tawa. I want to really load this up.
Let's do it.
I got to go bigger. I got to go bigger.
Load it up.
I want to earn your respect. I can get the respect of a local.
We have more chili.
Is that
और
good?
चिल्ली लाओ।
Are you sure? Oh my God.
We have a winner.
Oh my God.
I love it. Thank you. I want to say I'll regret that later, but I think pretty soon.
Yeah, wait, down to 5.
But it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so addictive. Luckily, on the side, we have a tiny bowl of yogurt to cool us down.
You would hope.
Joining me on this epic protein pilgrimage, Amna.
You need to chug it down.
She's a culinary student and a fashion blogger based in her hometown of Lahore.
I'm here for about a week. It's not a long time, but it's enough to get a snapshot of food here in Pakistan. Now, I know not a lot of people know that Pakistan and India used to be one country called Hindustan.
Yeah.
I've been in India a lot. I've had a lot of food there. But what would you say differentiates food in Pakistan from India?
I think northern Indian
ये,
food
I
is
think
very
मुझे नहीं
similar.
पसंद,
The kind of food you
कीमा।
get in Punjab,
हाँ, ये
Delhi,
मस्त है।
Amritsar. That's very close to the Pakistani food. But South Indian food or Bengali food, that's completely different. So the common factors I think would be that they're big on meat, we're big on meat. They're big on oil, we're big on oil.
Yeah. Is that the prayer?
Yes.
About how long does that take?
3 minutes.
This is a Muslim nation. What percentage of people here would you say is Muslim? Nearly all?
Nearly all, yes. Very, very small percentage of minorities. India, of course, is a big population, so the diversity is much more too. Not just religion, but you know, the different regions have a very distinct culture.
So it seems the other big difference would be that everyone's eating halal here.
Halal, yes.
So no pork, although not much pork in India anyways.
Also in India, they don't eat so much beef.
Okay, so that's a pretty notable difference right there. All right, this is a good start. We have a lot more to see.
Our street food journey has led us here, a one-of-a-kind a la carte menu.
What time do restaurants close here? 2 a.m.?
Yes,
Only here, you're pointing to the body parts you most crave.
Oh,
that's the fact.
ugh.
If uncertain, it's always good to start with the sheep butt fat.
Hold on, I recognize this. I just came here from Uzbekistan. This is a fat-tailed sheep.
This is that.
This is called a dumba,
Hey.
just the tail.
Oh, so we call the whole animal dumba.
Dumba. The dumba is like the foundation of Uzbek cooking. So many dishes
Babu
start
ko bhi nahi
with the
choda
fat
bhaiya.
that kind of melts off of that, and then they cook in the fat. Is that what they're doing here?
That's what they're gonna do here, yes.
Right.
A typical order should contain a variety of meat cuts for a more dynamic
मीट
flavor
मेरे को
and
बहुत
texture
पसंद है
experience.
This is
और
1
प्रमोट
kg,
नहीं कर रहा हूँ
some
टेस्ट है
fat,
भैया
some neck, some joint, and there's gonna be
It's a ram.
delicious.
How big do they go? Because some of those pots are quite big.
They have an option of going as big as 4 kilos also.
That's 8.8 pounds.
Yeah.
Along with the meat, the real locals know that certain sheep organs must be specially requested. You know, like the secret menu at In-N-Out.
That's kidney, right?
That's
और कोई
kidney.
वैरायटी
That's
नहीं है
We
नहीं
make
गोटे
testicles in Pakistan.
I do.
Hotel.
So
Great. What do you like about the testicle?
it's just the flavor and how they make it, and also, can I say the mouthfeel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just did.
I did.
With our meat ready, we head to the fire pits.
मैं नहीं खाता भाई
These
वो
skilled,
टेस्ट वगैरह जो
smoke-tolerant
भी
chefs
है
juggle over a dozen cast iron pots at various points in their cooking process. These guys are
ये
seriously
खाना लेकिन
impressive.
भूख लगने वाला है टेस्ट मतलब मुझे बताओ मत मैं खा
He's used
लूंगा
to it.
How long did it take him to get used to it?
He's been doing it for 18 years. So.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Welcome to Ilyas Dumba Kahari. We've learned about the Dumba. Now this is the Kahari.
So is it frying? Is it boiling?
I would say it's between braising and stir frying
Keema.
and also stewing a little bit.
4 kilograms, over 8 pounds of meat. We have to eat the whole thing.
You have to eat most of it.
I have to eat most of it.
He adds salt, then green chilies for spice, ginger for aromatics, and tomato for acid.
I'm sorry that India is my only point of comparison, but there's usually an onslaught of ingredients. Like 15 spices would not be enough in India. But here, it's essentially maybe 4 different things contributing some flavor.
ये
On
तो है
average,
मुझे
about
लग रहा
700
है
pounds of
लीवर
meat is
देख रहा हूँ
cooked
मैं
and consumed
Pakistan
here
का।
each day, serving over 1,000 guests.
ये हमारे
But
पास
it's
भी
not
काफी
just
variety है
about
इंडिया
the
में।
Kahari. Tonight, the
ये
charcoal
मांस
grill
नॉनवेज
is also
नॉनवेज करें
full
वहाँ
of
वेज
action.
भी
So I
होता है
heard
ना
this is really
अपने इंडिया
special.
You
में।
won't find this anywhere. This is also from the sheep, the liver, wrapped in fat.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is like caul fat.
यहाँ
It's
पे
like the
sheep
fat
यूज करते हैं
lining
लोग
from
हम
the
लोग sheep नहीं
animal.
खाते
Say,
हम लोग
exactly
बकरा
right.
यूज करते हैं
Can we try a piece?
नहीं मिलेगा तो जरूरी नहीं कि मैं
We can
भूखा हो
have all of
जाऊंगा
it.
He seemed like he was
क्यूरियोसिटी
yelling.
नहीं है कि
No,
मुझे
no,
ये
he
सब
was
चाहिए पर
happy.
खाना
Okay,
देख के
he's
भूख
very
लग रहा
aggressive with his enthusiasm.
है श्रावण चल रहा है
Ooh, these all look so dang
There you go.
delicious. Wow. I've heard that you should only eat 2 at most, or it'll give you hot flashes, even if you're a man. I don't know how that works. Wow.
But the flavor.
It's really, really hot. It's so sheepy. The liver is nice. It's super warm. The fat
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
outside is juicy, and it gives you that first hit of flavor when you take a bite into it.
Absolutely.
But also a little gamey. You a fan of the gaminess?
I do like it.
That's our appetizer. We're gonna head in and eat the big
4 kilos.
next. Right here.
The king.
Chicken.
Tons of different
And
cuts in
before-
here. You kind of just have to go piece by piece and figure out what it is. Oh.
Oh.
Wow. It is so juicy. I'm not surprised because he cooked it so long, but I just couldn't tell. Is it going to be tough? Is it going to be tender?
Very tender.
Over here.
So this is called a Peshawari naan, also known as a khamiri roti. It's a different way of making it than a naan.
Well, what's the difference between this and a naan? Because it looks like a naan and not so much like a naan,
It's
which is
really
what you're
the
saying.
treatment of the dough of the naan.
Are they more hostile towards it? They treat it badly?
मेरा तो बटर नान वगैरह बोलते हैं नॉर्मल
It's interesting because you said maybe there's not a ton of differences between here and India, but I've never had anything like this in India. This is wildly different.
Because this is from the northern parts of Pakistan.
That's good.
I used to love that as a kid. I used to fight everyone to get all the marrow.
Should we try some kidney?
Okay, let's do that.
Livery, but not kind of like dry like liver. Really nice and moist. Oh,
I'm looking for
testicle?
the testicle.
How do you identify it?
It's small.
That's one way.
Yep.
There's something about the sauce and the cast iron. It's made it really dense, so it's not like fatty and jiggly. That's the part that bothers people.
Because the moisture's gone out. It's cooked at such heat.
I bet this is
ये
one of
वीडियो
those
देखो
foods
ना, time
you
pass
give
भी हो
them
गया
and
मेरा.
tell them halfway through. By the way, you've eaten 17 testicles, and they'd have no idea.
It's so good.
I'm very impressed. This is just our second location. We have a lot more to see still.
Let's finish this first. I like it.
I tried to get out of eating 8 pounds of meat, but no luck. Bro,
Sir.
thank you so much for making it happen.
Thank you so much for coming. You've been long awaited.
Meet Ali, a Pakistani man on a mission to introduce his country's cuisine to the world.
We were going to come here before COVID, and then COVID happened, and that was not on my calendar at all.
He's the reason I'm in Pakistan for this series. But of all places, why start in Lahore?
Lots of many cultures from different parts of Indo-Pak subcontinent merged here. So you'll find a taste of India, you'll find a taste of Middle East. Lahore embraced all those spices, all those cultures and made it its own.
Does Pakistan need to distinguish itself from India when it comes to food?
They are very high on spices. Here you find spices a bit more moderate and we love our meat.
Yeah.
So if you're the meat lover, Pakistan is your place.
Okay. Meat lover हो तो Pakistan. Ah, fish.
The street food journey continues. This is After Dark in Pakistan. Right now we're in a new
रात
joint,
का
a new
समय है
location
ना ये,
called
after
Amin,
dark.
and he is saucing up some of these fish. This is rohu. It's a local type of carp, freshwater carp.
The rohu
देखो
fish is
भाई.
marinated with a paste consisting of garlic, ginger,
हम भी ऐसे ही
seed,
करते हैं.
cumin, chili, and salt. It marinates for 2 hours.
From here, it's
मैं
gonna
आधा
head to
घंटे
the
तक
fryer.
करता हूँ.
We're gonna fry the heck out of it, and it's gonna taste delicious? Question mark? I'm not sure. I'm gonna find out pretty soon.
Sadiq Makli Farosh has been selling this very same recipe for over 50 years, starting as a cart and evolving to one of Lahore's must-stop destinations.
We've been a bit sheep heavy, and this is something refreshing, something light.
Very light. We break the bread and we dig right in. And also, I have to warn you, it's going to have a lot of these small fish bones.
Uh-oh, that looks nice.
You have another bone in there, by the way. I can see
Oh,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Saved my life. Give it a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, this is a tamarind
और
sauce.
डरता हूँ मैं भी खाने से काटे वाले. बिना काटे वाली खाता हूँ मैं.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of flavor. It's interesting because we were talking about Pakistani food versus Indian food. Here it seems like they're more likely to focus on just a few ingredients and really concentrate on just those flavors. So I taste the garlic, I taste cumin, like I taste each individual spice.
One of the very good chefs that I met in my life said that a good dish only needs 5 ingredients.
Oh, yeah?
That's it. Any more than that, and you're making it too complicated.
Sorry, subcontinent of India.
We're also on the subcontinent of India.
Oh, yeah. If you get a bone in your throat, what do?
Get somebody to. It really depends on the size of the bones. You can also throw up sometimes.
These are great tips.
Yeah.
Overall, it's quite delicious. Carp has a bad reputation for being muddy and earthy because it's a bottom feeder. But here, it's quite delicious. I don't taste any of that. It's an aggressive fish with an attitude, and so you have to treat it just as aggressively.
that.
And that's what they've done here. It's magical because it's hot, it's steaming, it's crunchy, and the flavors just come out so powerfully. We have one location left. It's just on the road. We should head there now.
We finished this before?
After we finish this entire thing, for sure, we will do it off camera. What do you know about Pakistani chicken? I know what you're thinking. You already saw it in the beginning of the video. No, this is completely different right here. We've come to another restaurant, and man, rotisserie chicken, but not done with a machine. No, this is done with the touch of a human. This man right here. Oh, we're holding hands now.
In this street-side rotisserie, they marinate whole chickens for 24 hours, smoking them in a vinegar and spice blend containing green chilies, garlic, ginger, and whole spices. When it's time, they're stabbed and skewered over hot charcoal for about an hour.
Each skewer has one chicken on it. Look, I'm like a samurai, but with delicious food on my sword. And this, oh, I just scared it. It peed a little bit.
after roasting, it's scored and doused with lime and masala. This chicken pairs best with basmati rice cooked with carrots, mint, dried dates, and saffron. You'll only find this creation at Khalifa Balochi Saji, serving over 1,000 customers every day for the last 18 years.
Gosh, you know, it's our last location here. We've got some chicken and we have some skewers too. These are beef skewers.
This is beef kebab.
Kebab, I should
Yes.
say.
There are two types of kebabs you'll find in this region. The shish kebab refers to seasoned, cubed meat that's skewered and grilled. Then the seekh kebab, that's minced meat, carefully shaped on a skewer by hand and blasted with hot charcoal heat until they're dripping with flavor.
Sorry.
With the seekh kebabs here, beef is king. Ground up along with oil, onion, ginger, garlic, green chilies, and condensed milk.
I'm gonna just eat it plain to begin with. That's really nice. So delicious. There's so much flavor, spicy, but there's so much seasoning that it becomes a texture within the seekh kebab. Like I'm chewing on ground spices. I'm gonna try giving it a little bit of a dip. This is coriander.
Yes, and mint with yogurt.
Oh yeah, you're dirty.
Yep, and that's gonna balance off a little bit of the overpowering of the spice.
This is like heartburn, and this is like Pepsi AC.
Yes.
Somewhere in the middle. It tamps down the spice a bit, so it's not so intense. It's called a seekh kebab. Did the Sikh people invent this?
No, no.
All right, that was a dumb question.
So it's not Sikh kebab, it's Sikh kebab. And Sikh is a skewer.
I feel bad for my audience watching right now. It's one of the best flavors, and it's something you can only get, in this type of an environment. I mean, you can probably go to a restaurant with air conditioning too, and a little bit of soundproofing. You have to come to a place like this, to Lahore, to the street side. It's made fresh. They are not playing it safe with the spices. It's really spicy.
Exactly.
That brings me this right here, the chicken on a huge bed of biryani. Is that biryani?
That's not biryani. Biryani is very spicy. Kind of tastes Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay. We have our chicken right here. They ripped open the chest, just spread a bunch of seasonings in there.
Oh, Mom.
Oh, there's plenty of masala on there. It tastes like pure salt and red chili powder and cumin. Wow, that's a lot of spices.
You need to have it with the rice. That's how we eat. So it's got a really good balance.
Sure. I think it's the same as like that long grain biryani rice.
Yeah, the basmati rice is the same.
I love the texture of that. I love how it feels. It's almost like eating little short noodles sometimes. So yummy. It has been a pleasure sharing all this food with you and getting really my first taste of Pakistan with you.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Best Ever Food Review Show is a small team of independent creators, and everything we do here works because of you guys. Click the link in our...
हो गया हमने देख लिया पाकिस्तान का वीडियो में आपने खुद देख लिया होगा कि भैया पूरा नॉनवेज था। कोई एक चीज़ बताओ जो वेज में दिखाया होगा। नॉर्मल में आ गए थे वो बकरे के बाद में, पहले तो चिकन चल रहा था, फिर बकरा, फिर से चिकन, फिर मछली, फिर चिकन, फिर कबाब। कबाब मोस्टली मुझे नहीं पसंद आता क्योंकि वो एकदम बराबर हो जाता है, लेकिन जब चिकन खाओ और नॉनवेज खाओ तो मज़ा आता है। हमारे में शीप नहीं खाते, मतलब भेड़ बोलते हैं हम लोग, या तो बोला ही बोलते हैं, नहीं खाते हम लोग बकरा खाते हैं। एंड और इट्स नॉट कंपल्सरी दैट कि मुझे मिलेगा नहीं तो मैं जी नहीं पाऊँगा। वेज में भी बहुत खुश रहता हूँ। तेरा राजमा, छोले, देयर आर मैनी मोर स्टफ्स, यू रिमेंबर। दाल चावल खाओ, मज़ा आता है। दाल रोटी खाओ, साग रोटी खाओ, हरी सब्जियाँ जो बनी होती है खाओ, बॉइल्ड एग खाओ, अंडे ऑमलेट खाओ। ये देख के मुझे ऐसी भूख लगी और पता है मेरे को अब डकारें आ रही थी। मैं वीडियो पर डकारा मेरे को ध्यान ही नहीं आया, अभी भी हो रहा है पता नहीं मुझे, या तो पेट पे देख के कुछ हो रहा है पेट में, पता नहीं। एनीवेज हम नेपाल पे चलते हैं और ये वाला तो खैर मुझे बहुत सही लगा। मुझे श्रावण लगा, भूख लगी नॉनवेज का, और श्रावण चल रहा है और श्रावण में मैं ऐसी बातें कर रहा हूँ, ऐसी चीज़। सो एनीवेज वी गुड, मतलब हम चलते हैं आपके नेपाल पे। मैं भूल गया था शायद, देखते क्या टक्कर है भाई नेपाल स्ट्रीट फूड का। नेपाल का भी काफ़ी कुछ चीज़ों का मेन कोर्स तो उनका शायद मोमो तो दिखेगा ही दिखेगा। सो हियर वी गो। देखो स्ट्रीट फूड इसको कहते हैं। देखो अंडा, पहले मोमो दिखाया ना, चाय बना रही है, ये देखो पकोड़े तल रही है।
Today we're in Kathmandu, Nepal, and this is a city we are so excited to be filming in because there is so much interesting traditional food here.
Nepal has over 100 different ethnicities, which
क्या बना
means
रहे
that
हैं?
the food culture is wildly fascinating. We cannot wait to share what we've discovered with you.
We're taking you into the heart of Kathmandu's food culture, sharing the Nepali food that locals love to eat at the best street stalls and restaurants in the city. This is our first video from Kathmandu. Join us at the morning bazaar for a traditional Nepali breakfast of deep-fried snacks and milky sweet tea. Before we share Nepal's iconic buffalo momos from a neighbourhood favourite. We delve into the cuisine of the Newar people, the indigenous inhabitants of the Kathmandu Valley, and eat at a secret local joint before taking you into a 135-year-old bakery for traditional Newari bread. In this Kathmandu series, we'll show you some of Nepal's best food, from rare traditional dishes to delicious Nepali favourites. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're
Thrilled to be in Kathmandu filming. We've been eating our way around the city or around the Kathmandu Valley for the past week, and what we've discovered is so interesting. There's layer upon layer of food culture here. We can't wait to share all the food that we've discovered with you. Today this video is going to be set in markets. We're going to be eating street food. We're going to be eating at little mom and pop style restaurants. We've gotten up really early to hit up the bazaar so that we can eat a proper Nepali breakfast. I can see the stall right over there. We're going to be eating some deep fried snacks and also wash it down with some tea. Namaste. Tapaiलाई कस्तो छ? Good. Is my Nepali okay? We heard your sal roti and is this sal roti? And shell roti and guaramari. Oh, yes, perfect. Wonderful. Dhanyavad. So we're crouching right by the store here, and they sell two really traditional breakfast items. The first is the guaramari, which is a Newari guaramari.
This one is seal.
And this is the sal roti. So the ladies are so friendly. They're explaining what they're selling. This is the guaramari, which is a Newar breakfast item. The Newar people are the Newar people, the indigenous inhabitants of the Kathmandu Valley. And then this other one is a sal roti, which is a rice flour bread ring. It's so light and crispy in my hand. So they've got this sticky guaramari dough. It's just a wheat flour dough, and then the oil has just been slowly heating up. He's grabbing little handfuls of dough and then popping them almost on top of the oil because the oil's not hot enough to bubble away yet. Now it's really going. He's using his utensil to just push the guaramari around and submerge it into the oil, and they're slowly becoming really golden. Because right by the guaramari and sal roti stall is a chia stall, so a lady selling hot, sweet, milky tea. So that'll be perfect for washing these down with. But here we're right in the heart of the market, so the morning market. It closes down around 9 a.m, so you've got to get here early, and it's great because you've got all sorts of produce. This guy's selling a curd, so thick yogurt. This lady has got she's got some beautiful oyster mushrooms and some herbs and vegetables. It's surrounding this whole square. But first, the tea. We're sitting in front of this lady and she's brewing up our tea. So the tea and the milk and the sugar and the spices, if there are any, are all brewed together in a pot. And so she is really getting that flame going, and the tea is bubbling right up. It's frothy, it's bubbly, and to make it even frothier, she's dipping her cup into that saucepan and ladling tea up and out and pouring it back in, and so it becomes really frothy, and you can smell it in the air. It smells absolutely intoxicating. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad. She's essentially brewing each cup to order. So in the pot goes tea leaves and milk, sugar if you want it, and it is just bubbling away. And then she poured it into this glass cup and then sprinkled, I think, a bit of coffee powder on the top. This is the perfect way to enjoy tea. Really sweet, milky and strong. That is sensational. It is so good. Very sweet, very creamy. I don't think it has any spice in it, so it's just a really sweet, strong, milky tea, and that is coffee powder on the top. So I've got my chia, my tea, and my little packet of deep fried snacks. Perfect for dipping, I reckon.
Time to get into the sal roti and the guaramari. So
with this piping hot tea, these fried snacks are going to be perfect. I want to break up the sal roti first, so look at this ring of goodness. You can see there's quite a lot of texture in there too, in that skin. Oh, it's so fluffy inside. It just breaks apart so easily, that sal roti. Oh, wow. Man, that is light. Incredibly light inside, but because it's rice flour, it's got a little bit of stickiness. So on the chew, it's got a little bit of a stick. And then it's got little crispy bits that are all in the skin, little sort of popped crispy bits of rice in the skin. I reckon that's going to be really good to dip into the tea though. Let's grab that cup of tea. Oh, she's piping hot. And I'm going to give it a bit of a dunk, that sal roti. Get it covered in the tea.
ये चाय के साथ खाते हैं क्या?
That tea is too hot to hold.
मुझे तो बोला था कि चटनी होती है इसके लिए आलू वाली.
Look at this spot. It's unreal sitting here. Tea's being made as we go. I've got a bunch of coriander right behind me. All this fresh veg. It is all action here in the square. It's such a neat environment to start your morning with. And now time for guaramari. So these ones are made of wheat flour. So you've got the rice flour, sal roti, and these are wheat flour. So they should be quite different. Oh, so good. So fried dough, basically. It's very plain, very simple. It's just a beautiful ball of fried dough. So this is a traditional Nuari breakfast, this dish. And it's as simple as it gets, and it's such a common thing around the world. Fried dough, you know. So many cultures have a style of breakfast item or just food item like this, and these are great. Crunchy on the outside, bouncy texture on the inside because of that wheat flour. Incredibly different to the sal roti, so it's nice having the two different things to go with this amazing cup of tea. Oh, that milky, strong tea in amongst all of this. I mean, what a place to start your day. Unreal. We're loving exploring Kathmandu on foot because there's a lot of hustle and bustle here. A lot of colour, lots of people, obviously. It's very neat city to get around on foot. Whoa, there's a lot of chaos sometimes. But something else we really like about exploring on foot is it's often very easy to get off these main roads that are pretty hectic into much smaller sort of laneways like this one, much quieter. And our next stop actually is just up this street. So we're gonna wind into these little laneways to our next street food.
Our next food is one that's probably the most popular in Kathmandu, and that is momos. Momos are a type of dumpling, and we've been eating our weight in momos so that we can show you the best in the city. Just over here is the restaurant that we love, and it is our favourite style of restaurant to eat momos. Really no frills, very casual. You eat and then you run. Let's go and grab some. Namaste. This little local spot has a great atmosphere. It faces the front of the, oh, Dhanyabad, you already know our order. We come here so often that the guys already know what we're gonna order. So we've got our buffalo momos in front of us. They're steaming away. But this little spot is really casual, no frills, but they do amazing food and it's always fresh. You can see actually right here, the big steamers full of momos. So those are the buffalo momos. Buffalo is by far the most popular meat here in Kathmandu. So you get a plate of 10 buffalo momos and then something very special on the table as well to add to them. We're super lucky because we've been allowed a peek into the kitchen. These guys are busy at work making the dumplings. So they've got all of the buffalo meats in the trays there. They've got their dumpling wrappers all ready to go. So the whole momo making process happens in these tiny quarters. So they've got the big mixer up the back here. Then this here is the wrapping maker. So the strips of dough here are fed into this machine, and then the little momo wrappers come spitting out. And then the guys start making the momos. And what I really love about the momos here are, you can see the meat. So this is the buffalo meat. The meat is very dense.
वही mention करिए, मेरा mood खराब हो
You can see
गया.
by the colour, it is very lean. It's just at the end of this laneway, I believe. But check out the surroundings. So this here is Patan Durbar Square. It is the main square in Patan. And there are loads of Buddhist and Hindu monuments and temples. But I think this here is the restaurant that we're after. It is tucked away in the corner, very pokey and small. It looks like our kind of place. Let's head in. Namaste. Namaste. Whoa, it smells so good. This is such an awesome little restaurant. Mixed, please. That's perfect. It's just an awesome little restaurant. So 3rd generation, and this is what we're after. This is the wok, which is a
And so the mixed one means it's got some buff, so some buffalo mince on there. So you can just see the brown and an egg. So she cracked an egg on top of it. And man, look at this restaurant. So it's like a cave, very dark walls. I've got the sunlight coming right in and hitting me in the face, so that's probably why you can see me, but it's very dark in here, the very low ceiling, and so you've got all these smells of the cooking just hanging in the air, smoke hanging in the air, the walls are all blackened from the cooking. It is an incredible environment, and I really like how basic this wo looks. So just very, very simple. So a lentil pancake essentially. So you can see very thin. It was actually a very thick batter. I'll break into it. Let's get some of that buff and that egg. It was a very thick batter that she was popping on there and then patting it down with her wet hands just to give it the thin shape it has. But it's very thick batter that gets dropped onto that cooking surface there, and then the buff and the egg on top. Oh, wow. Oh, that is full of flavor. It's got a lot of spices in it. It tastes a lot more extreme than it looks. It looks so simple. I thought it was just going to be sort of a very plain pancake with the egg on it to give it a bit of texture, but the pancake itself, very moist. Oh, and it's full of spice. This bit here looks very good with a whole lot of yolk on it. It's so enjoyable. It's that spiciness, so these layers of spice, and their flavors I've never really tasted. It's super interesting. I think what they're using is a lot of local herbs, so herbs you'll only find in the mountains here in Nepal, and it's got an amazing depth, so it's got a bitterness and it's very rounded, so they just, in your mouth, they come together so beautifully. And this environment, I mean, look, I'll stand up. I'm 6 foot tall and I just hit the roof, so it's very small in here. It's such a neat little entranceway, and man, watching that.
It's massive. It smells so good. Wow, it's like this big and so beautiful. Oh, that's the perfect size. So I just asked the gentleman if he had a smaller lakamari, because I don't think those gigantic ones are quite right, because we'd never be able to finish them. But he's just said, this should be perfect for you. And this one is glazed. So it's sort of got an icing all around it. And look how beautiful it is. It's quite weighty. I think they sell it by weight, so we'll just pop it on the scale. Dhanyavad. The team are being really kind and letting us into their bakery and just explaining to us the significance of all the different Newari pastries. So, whoa, wow, they're huge. So these are special pastries for Newari weddings. So you can see there's a bird actually.
Wheel hai, bird hai.
Discs. What's this one called? What's the name of that one? Bot.
All lakamari.
All lakamari. Oh, okay. So all of these come under the name of lakamari, like the one that we bought, but they just have different meanings and different names. That's the frog. And there's a frog pastry there. Wow. So this gentleman's just telling me 135-year-old bakery. Insane. Insane history. And all of these wonderful Newari.
Try तो मैं करूँगा क्योंकि ये सब चीजें मीठे हैं.
Again, this is really typical of the shops and the restaurants here in Nepal and Kathmandu. Very low rise. So like I'm 5 foot and I'm almost touching the ceiling. That never happens for me. So it's pretty cool. Very pokey, very small. What a place. Look at these little doorways too. Oh, it's fantastic. Dhanyavad. Thank you so much. I've got a handful of sweets. So that bakery, absolutely phenomenal. 135 years it's been around, 4th generation, and they're a Newari bakery. So they specialize in Newari sweets. As we talked about before, the Newar people are the indigenous inhabitants of the Kathmandu Valley. So I've got 2 sweets. I've got this lakamari, so that's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Look how beautiful it is. And that's just a black lentil flour, rice flour, wheat flour, butter, sugar mix that's piped into the oil, and then it's been glazed with an icing sugar glaze. And then the staff are kind enough to give us a taste of their barfi, and this is a milk-based treat. They're also very famous for that as well. But I want to get into this lakamari.
पाकिस्तान का हर वीडियो मतलब मैं I was expecting कि पाकिस्तान में जो वीडियो दिख रहा है उसमें शायद गाय भैंस ऐसा कुछ दिखेगा, नहीं दिखा. पर इधर पे मुझे लगा नहीं था इधर होगा, इधर वो चीज़ दिख गई. या सजेशन मुझे मतलब जो भी है स्ट्रीट का, लेकिन फोकस मैंने यहाँ देखा. ये है स्ट्रीट फूड. मॉर्निंग का इन्होंने दर्शन कराया है, अब इवनिंग का भी दोपहर तक पहुँच गए लोग. तो स्वीट से लेके मटन, मोमोज, सब फ्राइड वाली चीज़ या स्टीम वाली चीज़ ही दिखाया इन्होंने. चाउमीन ने दिखाया, नेवारी थाली को प्रेफर नहीं करवाया, दिखाया नहीं. मैं सोचा था वो सब दिखेगा. तो अब आप बताओ आपको कौन सा अच्छा लगा. मेरे को तो ऐसा लगता है कि अभी फ़िलहाल जेन्युइनली बोलूँगा मज़ा तो मुझे पाकिस्तान वाले में आया, भूख लग रही थी. और नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर हो सके तो मैं उन्हीं के वीडियो, नेपाल में भी उन्होंने विजिट किया सुना है मैंने, तो उनको नेपाल वाले में देखेंगे हम लोग. आप बताओ आपको ये वाला स्ट्रीट फूड में कौन सा जगह है काठमांडू में, कि क्योंकि मैं मोस्टली ऑब्वियसली मैं काठमांडू ही ट्रैवल कर सकता हूँ, मुझे पाकिस्तान थोड़ा. लेकिन यहाँ पे बताओ आप कि मैं यहाँ पे कैसे आऊँगा, कौन सी जगह सही होगी, क्योंकि बहुत छोटे छोटे शॉप पर अंदर से बहुत ब्रॉड हैं, तो पता नहीं, सरप्राइजिंगली मुझे पता ही नहीं चलेगा. तो फिर बताओ क्या क्या लेना चाहिए मुझे काठमांडू एरिया से, वैली से. आप बताओ क्या क्या लेना होगा, क्या लूँ मैं यहाँ, क्या खाऊँ मैं यहाँ, बताना. लव फ्रॉम इंडिया, लव फ्रॉम वशांत सिंह. नमस्ते.